Welcome back for another episode of the Big O Podcast. I'm your host, Julian Ortiz, and today I am joined by one half of the greatest morning show to bless the airwaves today, a man whose laugh has proven to be the most effective vaccine to COVID-19, and whose beard will one day join the likes of the French tickler, the handlebar, and the Fu Manchu mustaches as some of the greatest facial hair to ever grace a man's face. Yes, I am talking about Mocha Frap. Mocha, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be back on the podcast. I appreciate your support and everyone that listens to this show. And yeah, let's have a good time. We're gonna have a good time today.
It's funny because I listened to the podcast that we did almost a year ago today, and it's amazing how much has changed, yet how much has stayed the same. We were talking about the early parts of COVID and all of the protocols that are, happening for you to continue to do your morning show. And 365 days later, for the most part, our province is pretty much in the same state that it was back then, if not even further restricted. Over the last year, what have you learned from the beginning of the pandemic to where we are right now?
That the government has no idea what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's like so many things have been said and asking us all to do our part, and a bunch of us are doing our part. And it's like, at this point now, going into our second COVID summer, it's like my hands are up in the air. I'm like, I give up. Like, just, I don't know, man. Like, whatever. Like, things are closed. I get it. I can't do anything. Except, again, do my part, which is what we're all trying to do, right? It's just frustrating, really.
100%. I mean, obviously, we have elected officials that we put in charge to make the best decisions for us. And to be very fair, it's not the easiest position that they're in. I mean,
absolutely not.
Very easy to criticize, but at the same time, like, they're dealing with, the lives of, tens of millions, in some cases, hundreds of millions of people, and they're trying to do their best. But the government is, doing what the government does, and they keep their secrets close to the vest, and they don't operate with transparency. And I think that's where we as the people get a little frustrated, because if we knew a little bit more, we could understand why everything was happening the way that it is. But, they like to keep us in the dark for many, reasons, some good, some bad. And because of that, I'm sure it's what's leading to a lot of the frustration that, you and your family and me and my family and everyone across the country and across the world is still sort of going through right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for me, some of the frustration comes from people who don't necessarily believe in what's happening. Right. Or like the people who are participating in the rallies to end the lockdown, which, I mean, end the lockdown. I want this lockdown to be ended more than anybody else as well. I need to get back to normal life, just like everybody else. But, it's like some of I'm not saying it's all, but some of the people who are fighting against this and fighting against vaccines and showing up to the clinics and protesting and stuff like that. Like some of y'all, it's like, you are some of the reason why we're still in this position. We're all told like we're all in this together, BS. It's just, again, going into a second COVID summer, it's just really, really frustrating when I've been asked to do my part for the past, 15 months now. And I have been doing my part, but I don't see any progress. Although, as of late, depending on when you're listening to this podcast, as of late, the numbers are going down and more people are getting vaccinated. So for me, at least, it seems like there's hope. And hopefully by, September, we'll be back into quote unquote normal times. You see it happening all over the world, right? All these places that were 3-4 months ahead of us in everything. And you see the kind of lives that they're living. And it's great. It's promising and I'm hopeful, right?
Look no further than south of the border. I mean, when you have states like Texas and Florida that at the early parts of the pandemic were being ridiculed about, their maskless mandates and all of those things, they're opening back up. I mean, they've had sold out crowds in arenas for sporting events, for NASCAR, for whatever it is. They're getting back to normal life, and they're laughing while we can't even go and buy, a soccer ball at our local, store because everything's been locked down and everything's been taken away. These guys are supporting drinking beers, no masks. It is crazy to think that we are so far behind a country that was arguably the worst during the height of the pandemic.
Oh yeah, I saw on CNN the other day. I think it was yesterday actually, because yesterday was like the first official reopening day of Vegas. And
Right.
at 12:01, it was like plexiglasses were down inside all the casinos. You don't have to socially distance. I mean, some people were still wearing masks, but they pretty much have like a no mask mandate. And Vegas is back to normal. Clubs are open. The shows are happening. The tourism is starting to pick up again, which they're hoping will continue. And Vegas is one of my favorite places in the world. Like this past,
Of course.
you know, 2020, I think it was the first year in I don't even know how many years that my friends and I didn't get a chance to go. So our run at Vegas came to a halt when COVID hit. So it's making me hopeful that hopefully next year that I'll be able to make my way back over there.
Okay, so you bring up Vegas and you talk about, you and your boys getting out there.
Oh yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, pre-COVID, 10 being like Hangover, the movie, 1 being like, just having fun going to bed at 7 p.m. Where does your normal
Vegas.
where does your normal group end up on a scale of 1 to 10?
I wouldn't say hangover style, like a lot of drinking, absolutely. Not like blackout drunk, but the night starts like, drinks in the hotel at maybe 9-10 o'clock. Actually, maybe even earlier, because we usually do dinner first. And then hit wherever club or do casino. We always end up at the casino at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and we play until maybe about 6. So the night ends when the sun is up, and then we sleep for however long. Not long, like we don't sleep the day away. And then just like kind of do things in and around Vegas, like the regular touristy stuff, right? Like walk the strip, stuff like that. It doesn't get too crazy, but we have fun.
So you're going to return to Vegas hopefully next year.
Hopefully.
What are the stakes going to be for that return trip to Vegas? Is it like we've been pent up for 2 years and now we got to get it out of us, and we go from like a 7 to like a 9 or a 9.5? Or
in my experience there and testing out those different levels, I find that my level of number 7 is my max. I like to maintain a 7. I like to have a good time, but I also like to wake up the next day remembering everything that happened the night before. I've had too many Vegas nights where you wake up the next day and you're like, what did I do last night? I remember the first part of the night. I remember having dinner and arriving someplace, and then like I'm waking up now. So like, what happened? So there were some of those like hangover movie type trips, but as of late, they've been hovering in and around the 7, which is good.
Yeah, you're hoping not to have like a hospital bracelet on your wrist or be missing like a tooth, but maybe a duffel bag full of money that you can't explain. That's not a bad thing.
That would be amazing. Are you kidding me? Yeah, why not?
All right, so obviously the States has opened up and Canada's slowly trickling behind. What would you say? We obviously we've heard the term hot girl summer, all over the place. Girls getting ready to re-release themselves out and have a good summer, right? That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
What would be like, what are your expectations for the population of, Canada, more specifically Toronto, when COVID sort of finally lapses and we get our first official reopening summer? Like what are you expecting?
I mean, I think you've kind of seen it as the weather gets a little bit better. People are still heading out there. They're still going to the parks. They're still hanging out on the streets. Like people are still going to do what they do. I think it's going to be a great summer, I guess. But like the official like turn up summer, I think once like things are fully open, we won't have that kind of summer until like next year, like 2022. Like people are still going to have a good time and be out there this summer. I mean, people were out there like last summer before before vaccines were even introduced. They were only talked about and still being researched, right? So it'll be pretty much the same. But like the real big blowout, I think, will happen at some point next year.
Yeah, I think summer 2022, we got Caravana, we got Pride, we got the Blue Jays hopefully being at home, so that's like a whole other crowd.
Raptors too, right?
The Raptors,
not just for summer, but like I'm just looking forward to like all sorts of different things, like concerts and Leafs, and like just being at a venue, whether it's a venue full of 20,000 people watching a show, or a smaller venue with like a couple hundred people, checking out like their favorite independent band or something like that. It's that kind of stuff I'm real looking forward to, right?
So you go to Vegas, let's say, with your boys, and you win like a dream trip. You could go anywhere in the world, two of your closest friends, and see any concert of your choice. This is going to be the first concert you see post-COVID. Who are you taking, and what concert are you seeing, and where are you going to see this concert?
So if I'm in Vegas and I win a trip, right? Can I win a trip back to Vegas?
Sure, sure.
Or does the destination have to be somewhere else? Like I'm leaving, like I win that trip and I got to leave Vegas.
Let's leave North America.
Oh, okay. I am going to like Cabo, and I'm gonna see Drake.
Okay.
All right. I've been to like enough Drake concerts to know that just like straight up party. So I'm going to go, and I love Cabo. I've been to Cabo a few times before, and I love the weather out there. Like anywhere hot, really, I'd want to go, but it would definitely be to see Drake.
Yeah, I can just see that right now. OVO times Cabo, and it's just like the lineup of artists that he's bringing with him is just stupid.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I actually can't wait for that next like big Drake Toronto or Canada concert. Well, especially Toronto, because I think it'll be like the biggest. He'll make all the phone calls he can to as many people as possible, and it will probably go down as the greatest OVO in history once he finally gets a chance to do a show in Toronto again.
I don't think there's a venue big enough for it though. Like to me, like the Molson Amphitheater or like Scotiabank Arena, even like the Skydome, there doesn't seem to be a big enough venue for when Drake does eventually hit Toronto with the OVO Fest.
Yeah.
Like, are we thinking like maybe Downsview Arena, like just had this huge, almost like festival style forum for Drake to bring back the OVO to Toronto, at least the first summer back from COVID?
Yeah, I mean, I think he could, like, those Molson Amphitheater, or I think it's not Molson Amphitheater now. What's it called again? It's called
Budweiser Stage.
Yeah. Like I've been to all those shows, and like, I mean, yeah, it packs them up, right? I've been to Scotiabank Arena, and like he just like sells the place out. I think the bigger the venue, the more access you have for tickets for people, right? So I think no matter where he goes, I think it will be a sellout. He could do definitely a two-day festival. Again, with his first show back after COVID, I think he could definitely do, as long as he lines them up with a bunch of artists, then it'll be good. And I mean, Drake's got the name behind him, right? So like anyone he calls up, they'll be like, of course, like, yes, I would. I think he's at the level now that if someone would find out that he's doing a two-day festival, as he's done in the past, people are calling him to say, how can I get on the bill?
Yeah, sign me up. Like, let me get on that on the Saturday night. Let me open the show.
Yeah.
All right. So when we last spoke, again about a year ago, you talked about waking up and starting your routine at about 3 a.m. Yeah. Because you obviously have one of the earliest morning shows. You go to bed around like 9 o'clock, and you've developed this skill where you can basically just put your head to pillow and you knock out.
Yeah.
I have developed a similar skill of being able to pass out mid-sentence. However, it's usually at the most inopportune time at like 2 a.m. when my wife needs me the most to help with feeding our new baby. I don't recommend it to other people because it could end up with like a formula bottle thrown at your head. Have you ever been so tired that you're just either passing out in the middle of a conversation or somewhere that you shouldn't be, like the living room couch when Jenna is trying to talk to you?
I am so tired every single day, like at any time of the day, right? I could pass out. Like if you were to keep silent right now, and if I were to close my eyes, I would legit pass out in like the next 10 seconds. I could sleep anywhere, anytime. Sometimes I'll be playing with my son and I will like shut my eyes for like a second and I could legit just pass out. Sometimes we're watching a show, like a Netflix show, and I'll be laying on the couch and he'll just be on my lap and I will fall asleep almost instantly. Like as soon as I hit play on Netflix, I am done. So yeah, I'm tired. But like you mentioned the schedules, I'll tell you this. My schedule changed a little bit where I'm now in bed between 8 and 8:30.
Oh, wow.
And then I wake up, I'm up at like 2:30. And now that we're getting into summer and we're getting into the better weather, it sucks because when I'm packing it in for the night, the sun is still out, right?
Right.
And it's still so nice outside. Like my wife and I could sit outside and have like a glass of wine, or I could like sip on a beer or whatever at that time. But for me, I'm like, I go to bed like 30 minutes after my son goes to bed and he's 4, right? So we're getting to a point and, you know, there's no slowing down here. We're going to get to a point eventually where my son's bedtime is going to be later and later. And I'm sure at some point he's going to be he'll be putting me to bed at night. His bedtime will be later than mine. So
you'll be like, Cruz, did you do your homework? And be like, hey, Dad, aren't you supposed to go to bed? And you'll be like,
yeah,
all right,
exactly.
Good one, son.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah, completely.
Now, Cruz just turned 4 just a little while ago. So this would have been his 2nd birthday amidst the pandemic. And obviously a milestone birthday, the last birthday before theoretically he would start school come September.
Yeah.
What are the emotions like knowing that, you know, he is getting older and he's starting school after, you know, 4 years of him being home with you and Jenna and getting all of this quality time?
I cannot wait.
Oh, wow. Okay. You're pushing him out the door with his lunchbox packed up.
It is so crazy. Like if anyone listening right now, you know, if you have kids at home, I mean, you know what it's like having kids at home, and we have one, you have more than one, right? So it's like nuts all the time and like just always wanting your attention. And my God, like I love him so much, but he needs to get out there and experience the world with like other people other than, you know, my wife and I, right? Because it really is like we're all supposed to just be again doing our part and staying away from other people. So it's only the 3 of us plus the dog, right? So I can't wait for him to get back to school in September and to experience you know, other adults, right, with the teachers that they got at the school and like other kids. So that's pretty exciting.
And this is one of the problems that has been the underlying issue of the pandemic. And we talk about mental health, not just mental health of adults or older adults, but of children who don't develop social skills because they're not in school. Virtual learning doesn't obviously hit the same way. We're sticking our kids in front of a screen and they're not really learning the same way through touch and through play and interactions with other kids. And who knows what effects that's going to have for them growing up, not being able to develop social skills at such a young age.
Yeah.
You know, as a parent sending a kid to school, hopefully in September, you know, what would you like to see from the schools to give you a better peace of mind that your kid's going to be okay returning into the classroom?
You know what? I think the schools are going to be fine. I think they've got everything under control. They've done their part to make sure that the environment is as safe as possible, not just for the kids, but for the teachers especially. And I think they've gone like above and beyond, to be honest with you. Like, I think the teachers, the educators are all doing such a great job that they know that they're not going to do something that's going to screw up, the situation or put anyone in harm's way. So I think the school's got it all figured out. I think they'll be great. I think that they're still doing a great job with their resources and the money that they have available to them. So I think that come September, when hopefully everything is open and kids can all go back full time every single day. I know that they've like previously announced a couple months ago that you're going to have the option in September, whether you want to do virtual or in class learning. So I think that they'll be in a good place, and I think that they'll have everything figured out. Things will be good. At least, you know, for my kid, my son who's 4, he is still very early for him to like. I don't know how much of this part of his life he's going to remember.
Right.
So it'll be like a whole new thing for him, and I hope that when he gets into JK, it's like a regular kid starting JK, right? He may have to wear a mask. I don't know what the world's gonna be like then. If kids are still gonna have to wear masks or not, but he's been wearing a mask whenever we're outside now anyway, so he's used to it. He understands. why we need to wear masks. So it won't. I don't think it'll be a problem. I think it'll be good. We'll be in a good place.
Yeah, my daughter who turned 4 just a few weeks ago, mid-May, she's looking forward to school. Like she understands like
Yeah.
what's going on, and she understands she can't see friends and family. But I picture her like first day of kindergarten, like Jack Nicholson in The Shining, just like busting down the door, like
Yeah.
I'm ready to go, teacher. Like let me in. I've been waiting for this for the last like
Yeah.
2 years, and I'm excited. Like I'm excited for her to get into to school to see what it's like. It's obviously way different than watching stuff on Netflix, like all like the Cocomelon or the Little Baby Bomb or all those information and educational shows, and to interact with kids who don't mind sharing with her, unlike her sibling, or
Yeah.
want to play together and play soccer or kick a ball or do whatever. And for me as a parent, like I'm so much looking forward to that. But at the same time, I've spent quite a bit of time at home with my kids over the last 4 years. And so there's a part of me that I know that if I do drop off on day one, I might be the dad who sits in the parking lot all day till like 3 o'clock and just waiting to pick my kid up and seeing if I can see into the classroom. Is my kid okay? Is she crying? Who's bullying my kid right now? Do you have any of those reservations at all? Like, what are the emotions going to be like if you won't do drop off, but maybe you do pick up for Cruz on his first day?
I'll end up doing pickup. I mean, as much as I joke about like I can't wait, I'm sure that same day, like when I get home from work and it's just like my wife and I, and the house is completely quiet, I'll be like, oh man, I missed that little guy. Like I can't wait to pick him up from school.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. I mean, it's something to look forward to. I know I am, but at the same time, still scary. But yeah, as you say, I agree with you. Let someone else take care of my kid for 8 hours for the day.
Yeah.
While we get a little bit of a break.
Let me breathe just a little bit. Let me
exactly.
down, right?
It's your problem now. Here's all the sugar. 2021 was obviously like we're getting off to a little bit of an interesting year. A lot of things are happening. A lot of emotions are happening inside of Toronto. Number one, Tim and Sid decided that they were going to take a little bit of a break from themselves. Sid Seixeiro decided to leave Tim and Sid and move on to Breakfast Television to pursue a new chapter for his career. And when we experience split in our lives, we deem, important. It's important to remember the times that we had, but it's also a moment where we can reflect. And so my question to you, Tim and Sid went strong for, almost 20 years.
Yeah.
If Roz and Mocha were to take a break.
Don't say it.
What would Roz be doing and what would Mocha be doing?
First of all, I don't see that happening at all.
It's a hypothetical. There's no reason to think it's going to
end. I think Roz would continue with television because if anyone doesn't know, he rocks 2 jobs. Like he does the morning show with me every day, and then right after that, he's a host on ET Canada. So he does that right up until like 6-7 o'clock at night. So I think he would still end up doing that. For me, I would still try to be in radio. I'd still try to do a show. I would still want to be entertaining everybody listening. Right? This is my life. So I would still want to be behind the mic somewhere doing a show. Right?
I think Roz would do great with like a HGTV show because I followed him through summer of 2020. When he basically re-landscaped his whole like backyard.
Oh yeah, he's serious about that stuff.
And he was, using the different lawnmowers, the weed whackers, like all of these things. And I find myself as like a dad who's in another chapter of life. As a young man, I probably wouldn't have cared at all. But the thing I got most excited for 2021 is we got to redo our backyard. I now have grass in my backyard.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is green. I look forward to watering it twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
And I even tell my kids, like, stay off the lawn, Daddy's just about to water it. Like, don't go on. I don't want you messing up my beautiful greenery.
Yeah, but this is my project.
This is my time. You have your water table. I have my grass. Leave me alone and leave it be. Yesterday, my daughters were, like, ripping the grass up, and I almost... If I had hair, I would rip out my hair. But... what? So what I want to ask you is, from being a young man to being a parent, what is the thing that you most enjoy as a parent that you never would have thought you would have enjoyed when you were a young man?
I think just being a parent is what I enjoy, like all aspects of it. Um, I enjoy having conversations with my son and like watching him grow up and watching him develop. And he'll say things randomly, and I'll be like, "Where did you hear that word? Or where did you learn how to say that sentence? Like you actually use those words in that combination correctly. Like I'm so proud of you, right?" Like I think just watching the development of your child and just experiencing life in that aspect, and knowing that you have this person that is looking up to you to guide them through life, right? Whether they know it or not, you sure as hell know it. So I think that's exciting. Just watching the journey and experiencing that journey every single day.
Yeah, I definitely am taken back anytime my daughter will pick different parts of like 5 different stories and put them together, and she really makes it sound as if it was one true event, whereas like she's picking and choosing, and we're super impressed and also super scared at the same time. My wife and I will like look at each other when she says something and be like, how the hell did she figure that out? Or how did she know that's what we were talking about? She is so on it, more so than we could have imagined a 4-year-old being on it. It is crazy. And now you have like the emergence of like TikTok, and obviously YouTube is huge. Are you into any of these social media sort of trends? Are you doing any of the dances for the radio show at least, or is that all like just damn it mode?
No, I'm still heavy on Instagram, heavy on Twitter. I kind of got away from Facebook a little bit, and I have a TikTok account. I haven't used it. I just got it just to grab the name, but I haven't really done anything with TikTok. I just don't. There are people out there where like they do this like every single day. You know what I mean? And I just don't have the time. Like I'm not going to do a dance on TikTok. Like, I just don't have the time to dance for TikTok. You know what I mean? But I just use really just Instagram and Twitter. I've always wanted to do, I have a YouTube channel with like literally nothing on it, but just again, so I could have a YouTube channel. And I've always wanted to be one of those content creators, but again, it's just, I don't have the time to shoot stuff and then to sit there and edit it. So, like I'm on YouTube, like heavy, watching other things, watching other people, watching other creators and videos, like learning stuff. And I wish I had the time. And I'm sure hopefully one day soon, maybe when my son goes back to school in September, I'll have a little bit more time during the day to dedicate to that kind of stuff. But it's all about time right now. And I don't have enough of it right now.
It's time to talk about below the waist grooming. It has never been easier to take care of your package. And thanks to Manscaped, they have all of the necessary tools for your family jewels. Let's be honest, the last 18 months have been tough on everyone, but as we begin to return to normalcy, it is time that we ensure that when we finally unveil ourselves, we are looking and feeling our absolute best. Nothing says I came to play like a clean-cut workspace. Ladies, if you didn't receive the Mother's Day gift that you wanted, take control and get your man the tools to succeed so he can take care of your every need. With Father's Day just around the corner, Manscaped has got you covered with the best precision engineered tools. Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team have perfected the greatest ball hair trimmer ever with the Lawnmower 3.0. This third generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. The waterproof technology allows you to groom in the shower, and one of the coolest features is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming. When I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes, so you can take a longer shave. If you're watching or listening to this right now, I want you to click the link in the description and experience it for yourself firsthand. That's why Manscaped is offering 20% off and free shipping when you use the code TheBigO20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping. Just click the link in the description below and head over to manscaped.com. Make sure you use the code TheBigO20. Your balls will thank you. Okay, so I have an idea, a suggestion, and maybe a question all intermingled into one thing. I talked about TikTok being a huge thing in 2020. It's obviously continuing into 2021. There was also an emergence of another platform that came out in 2020. And this one is paying their creators some serious dividends depending on how many subscribers and users tune into their specific channel, we'll call it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about OnlyFans.
No.
If you were to start an OnlyFans, what kind of content would Mocha be putting out?
Oh my God. Zero. Nobody wants to see this. OnlyFans is for like, a specific thing. And trust me, I don't have the goods to provide the content for what people go to OnlyFans for. Absolutely not. Nope. I don't have an account. I've never used OnlyFans, to be honest with you. I have no reason for OnlyFans to be in my life.
Good answer. That was a good answer. But to be fair, there are some gaming creators, content creators that are putting out content on OnlyFans that are not what 99% of what people are using it for is out there. But so I mean, again, if you, similar to your YouTube, if you were to work on a project and say, now I got a little bit of free time now that Cruz is in school, what kind of content would you like to put out on your YouTube channel? Like, what kind of things are you going to film that you can sort of begin to work on and hone your craft?
I think it would mainly be things like my daily routine, things like that. Some behind the scenes stuff of doing the radio show. A lot of home stuff, like, if I'm building something for the garage or building something for the house, kind of like my process, step-by-step process of that. Just various things like hanging and going for walks, like hanging out, doing like photography shoots, stuff like that. I'm very big into photography. I love taking photos, like going out into the city and grabbing pics of stuff. So it would be a lot of that stuff, kind of like my portions of my day, kind of capturing those.
Okay, so my pitch to you, and knowing a little bit about you, I'm thinking like reaction videos.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so hear me out. These are good. This is not like OnlyFans. We're going down a different road here. Obviously, huge Star Wars fan.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Like, you're big into Star Wars, huge Marvel fan. We saw that with your love of WandaVision, Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Obviously, Loki is about to drop in just a couple of days at this point. What if we created, or what if you created a reaction to either trailers or special announcements on some of these projects? Because I know, like I said, huge Star Wars guy, huge Disney guy with Marvel.
Yeah.
I think some of your reaction videos would be incredible. Again, 2 to 3 minutes, don't have to take long to shoot it, but you're giving the people what they want, and that is seeing you react in the amazing way that you do to some of these things.
That's the thing though. Like, would people be interested in that kind of stuff?
Hell yeah, they would.
Because there are so many other reaction videos out there. Reaction videos to trailers, reaction videos to music videos that drop, reaction videos to reaction videos, which is absolutely insane. Like, I don't know. Like, I've seen like view counts on some of these reaction to a reaction, and it's like, oh my God, like how deep into this are we going to get? And then even with some of the reaction videos that I have seen, it's like, okay, how many of you are doing this, giving that reaction because it's going to be posted up on YouTube or TikTok or wherever, right? I feel like people still go a little bit too extra. Like, I watch trailers and I enjoy them, and I may have like a holy crap moment, like watching something, but I'm not gonna go overboard just for the likes. You know what I mean? Just for the subscribers. And again, I just feel like that space is kind of like saturated with with people who are either underwhelming um, or exaggerating a little bit too much.
But here's the thing, you already have your built-in media. Like the way you are on the radio, we already know the reactions are amazing. And I'm just like, close my eyes. I'm thinking number one moment I'd want to see your reaction to is Captain America defeated in front of Thanos and hearing Falcon on your left. Then we see all of the Doctor Strange portals open up at the end of Endgame.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, are you telling me that reaction would not be an amazing video to capture? So I'm sure in the moment you would have killed it.
Yeah, but like, I mean, every, for trailers, let's just say, like every trailer would have to be at that level to get my reaction. You know what I mean? What was a trailer I watched just the other day? There was one. Let me look at my YouTube history real quick. Hold on. There was one actually that I watched the other day, and I was like, I had one of those whole, like, I cannot wait to see this. Hold on, let me see. It's not this one, not this one. Oh, what was it? There. Oh, the new Mark Wahlberg movie, Infinite. That one looks dope as hell. So that one I had kind of like a. Oh, and then on Netflix is a movie coming out, or a TV show. I think it's a movie coming out called A Classic Horror Story. Okay. And the trailer for that, it's really, really simple, but there's like one thing that happens in it, and I kind of cringed a little bit. So I think depending on the trailer, you'll get a different reaction. I would say most of the reactions might be a little underwhelming, but definitely, yeah. I mean, if I were to go into that space, I don't know how popular it would be based on the other creators who are doing that kind of thing, and some of them who are like really, really known for that kind of stuff.
Fair enough. I thought I would ask because, I love your reactions to things. I love the IGTV videos that you guys post up from the morning show. They're incredible. The laugh.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Is electric. But let's talk a little bit about Marvel. Obviously, Marvel has been killing it in the movie industry for quite some time, and then they finally ventured into getting into some television streaming shows. We've had two. There's like 12 Marvel shows releasing over the next like 3 years. What were your thoughts on WandaVision? A lot of people weren't thrilled, didn't really get into it until episode 4 or 5. But what are your initial thoughts on how important WandaVision is, and did you like it?
I definitely liked it. Obviously, like everybody else, was like really confused by the progression in each episode, and they were short enough that I think that the episode length for each one was absolutely perfect, because people would have got bored if they were any longer. And there's obviously an explanation for everything. What I usually do with all these Marvel movies and or TV shows is, as soon as I finish watching, I head straight to YouTube and I watch like one of the explanation videos. So I think that like I nerd out like that heavy, right? So when I watch, like, especially with WandaVision, I found it helped. Like I would go watch one of those nerdy explanation videos, and I'm like, okay, so that's why that happened. And you obviously know like more is coming, and then eventually, more, it was all explained, and that really amped up the show. And I really enjoyed it. And then Falcon and Winter Soldier was just like next level, completely different. It was basically like watching a Marvel movie, and I just love the attention to detail, and that they didn't scale back on any of the action or any of the effects. Like they still kept it at that Marvel MCU level for the fans, and even for like people who are just joining that universe now, so that there's that like sameness between watching, Falcon Winter Soldier and then going back and watching like Infinity War or watching Civil War or anything like that. Like it's all at the same level. It's great.
It's what
I'm definitely looking forward to the Loki show too. That looks so crazy.
I think they're using their platform in such an amazing way, where you can now have huge blockbuster movies, which Marvel over the next like 3 years are putting out like at least 3 every single year. Yeah. And now you have these shows that are going to supplement that with some story, some background characters, furthering the story of the old main Avengers. Like, we're gonna get a Hawkeye series. It's gonna be amazing. Armor Wars is gonna be great. Invasion is good. Secret Invasion is gonna be amazing. Like, they've got a whole lineup of incredible things. Then you have like the connection with Spider-Man as we get ready for the third and final Spider-Man, at least of this trilogy altogether, in the live action Spider-Verse style movie.
Yeah.
They're killing
what do you think of those shows on Disney Plus? Like, what do you think of WandaVision?
I loved WandaVision. I trusted the process from the beginning and said that this is all going to lead up to something. And I knew that they had, you know, Wanda was going to be in Doctor Strange, so I figured that it was just going to set that up. I knew she was an important character. We're going to get from where we need to be to where we are post Endgame. So I believed in that. Falcon and Winter Soldier, completely agreed with you. It was like a 6-part movie, basically.
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done. I mean, they didn't, you know, hide the fact of who was going to be, you know, the main bad person, and you know how, you know, Carter is gonna, you know, be the new baddie somewhat. But I don't expect, it's not an M. Night Shyamalan movie. I'm not expected for the twists and turns, but I love what they've done. I'm extremely excited for Loki because every Disney show that we've gotten from Marvel has been different, and I think Loki is gonna just further improve on how different it is from the two shows. Plus, when you have star talent like Tom Hiddleston coming in and doing like a 7-part or 6-part show for Marvel, like, you get the buy-in. Sure, you're throwing millions and millions of dollars at these actors, but you're going to get a great product one way or another. And of course. I'm super excited for that. Also super excited. Cobra Kai is one of my favorite shows. Yeah. Like, I'm
no spoilers. I haven't finished the latest season.
Okay, so I'm deep into Cobra Kai. The thing I love about Cobra Kai stays true to the history of the show, as well as bringing in a younger group of actors for the newer audience. Are you familiar with the Karate Kid series from back in the day?
The series, like the movies,
like the movies, the trilogy. Like,
yeah. Oh, the movies, absolutely. And I think they did such a great job with the I mean, it started out on YouTube, but they're all on Netflix now. But they did a great job with the TV show, because you have the role reversal. You know, the villain becomes the hero becomes a villain, but they still have the same personality traits that they did in the movie. So in one episode, you'll still be rooting for Daniel LaRusso, whereas the next episode you're like, man, this guy's a real asshole, and you want Johnny to win, right? You want him to be the hero of the episode, and it's really interesting how they've been able to kind of switch those roles, but give those guys still the exact same personality that they had in the movies, and the personality traits that we all kind of like either fell in love with or hated. So your attitude towards each one of them changes from episode to episode, right? It's really interesting the way they did it.
Yeah, I've always been team Billy Zabka. I've always been Johnny Lawrence is the real Karate Kid. Yeah. And I mean, there's a huge rabbit hole, a reaction or explained video of why Johnny is the actual Karate Kid. Daniel LaRusso is actually the bully. Don't want to get into it right now, but I love the fact of how Cobra Kai has done things. And I think Cobra Kai has been amazing. And I'm not giving anything away, but obviously season 4 has been announced, and they're excited about what's coming next. Have you started season 3 yet, or you're not? You haven't even got there?
No, you know what? I got to go back and watch. Season 2.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't even started season 3 because I need to go back and watch, because I watched season 2 like periodically. Right. So the timeline, in my mind, is a little bit messed up. So I want to go back and watch, because I'm still remembering things from season 1, right? So I want to go back, watch season 2, so I understand or get a better grasp on the timeline of the story before jumping into, like, I'll jump right away into season 3.
Listen, it's a great watch. They're continuing to pump out content for Cobra Kai, and it's incredible. And the only thing I'm going to say, is I love the fact that we consistently get familiar faces on the show.
Oh,
and that's it. I'll leave you with that without saying anything. Right. I don't want to, when you get to end of season 3 and you see the trailer for season 4, then I want you to DM me and be like, okay, damn, absolutely. I can't wait for this. Cause it's going to be bananas.
Absolutely.
The last thing I want to talk about as we're wrapping up real quick is Toronto sports teams. It's been a tough year. It's been a tough year. Obviously, the Raptor fan base has never recovered since 2019. Obviously, we're still in sort of that championship hangover, as they call it. Another year where, didn't qualify for the play-in tournament, and a lot of question marks. Kyle Lowry, is he going to be back next year? What's our team going to look like? Are we going to spend some money? Are we going to make some big deals? Or are we going to go into the rebuilding phase? Is Masai going to be back? Very briefly, what are your overall thoughts on this past season for the Toronto Raptors?
I mean, it sucks, right? Obviously, it sucks as a fan. It sucks that they couldn't play at home. I truly do believe that a lot of what happened with the team this year definitely had to do with them not being on their home court. However you want to argue it, I think just psychologically, right? Like knowing your own building, knowing your own locker room, knowing the hallways in that building at Scotiabank Arena, I think definitely for them not being able to do those things, the normal things that they would do, played a huge factor in what happened with the season. I mean, COVID hit the team. COVID hit a lot of teams, right?
Yeah.
I just think it was just like a domino effect of like bad thing after bad thing after bad thing, injuries left, right, and center. I just think that helped contribute to the downfall of the team. I hope Kyle Lowry stays. He's a great leader. But it depends on where his heart is, right? Like we know he's always going to love Toronto. He's always going to love the fan base. He's always going to love the city, and he's going to love the support that the entire country gave him. But at the end of the day, it's like, what does he not value most, but like, what does he want? Does he want to keep playing for the love of the team and striving for another ring? Or does he want to go to a team where he's going to get the support on the court that he needs to win another ring? You know what I mean? Sure. At the end of the day, you can't just be one person on a team trying to lead, and all aspects of it aren't gelling. So it depends on what it is he wants, or where he wants his career to go next, right? Like if he's happy playing in Toronto and keep leading the guys and helping to come up with a game plan and helping them to build the plays and be better every game, then that's great. Like if he wants, the goal is to bring another championship to the city, then like I support it all the way. But at the end of the day, you also want to be happy. And I would never expect someone to be miserable playing here, because that'll show like on the court, right?
For sure.
That'll show in interviews. That'll just show, like you'll be able to read that on a guy's face. I want the guy to be happy, and if his heart is not with the team, or he doesn't like believe that he can continue to lead the team with the way it is right now, then I guess we gotta throw money at somebody else to come here and be that guy, be that leader, or be that support system. Or I think the Raptors need a little bit more than just another Kyle Lowry. I think the Raptors need not a full rebuild, but the right people who can work together and support each other. I think that's kind of like the key thing. You don't just need one superstar. You just need a team that can play together, right?
And if there's a duo that we can trust in, it's Bobby Webster and Masai Ujiri. Like if there's a duo that's going to do it, it's going to be them. Unlike their counterparts on the ice, who did not benefit from playing in their own building throughout the playoffs or the season, who gave up yet another 3-1 loss at home, nonetheless, in Game 7. The Toronto Maple Leafs, I do believe, are the most cursed franchise in the history of sports. Sorry, not franchise, cursed fan base in all of sports.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll sell out whether the Leafs are 0-82 or 82-0. It doesn't matter. The whole lower bowl is sold out to businesses and all that fun stuff. But their fan base, year after year after year, continue to go through just tragedy. Just when you think that they're going to do something amazing, they find a way to break the hearts of their fan base. You're
but you know what? We're gonna go back. We always go back. That's the thing, though, right? Like, no matter how many times the Leafs break our heart, like we're gonna go back and we're gonna be hopeful and we're gonna say, like, don't worry, we got you. We support you for as bad as you screwed up this year, right? We're still gonna go back every year. We always go back. You see the pre-COVID, you see the arena, you see Scotiabank Arena. It's always sold out. It's always packed. Yeah. Right. No matter how terribly that team does in a season, they are always going to have a fan base. They're always going to have a loyal fan base. You're also always going to have a fan base that complains after every loss, right? No matter how early or late into the season it is.
Yeah, we just don't know what's good for us, and what's good for us is for us to let go. But we, as you said, we just can't. It's a generational thing. We've seen goodness out of this franchise that today's generation hasn't, and they're probably thinking, like, why the hell are we still fans of this team that have done nothing for us? But we know what it was like when we were going up against Ottawa, Buffalo, the Islanders, the Boston, amazing 7-game series, Boston. Yes, I mean, it's one day before our kids are adults.
I hope. And you know what? Honestly, like William Nylander and Austin Matthews, they have a lot of thinking to do, and I think that they screwed the team horribly, but whatever. Who am I? I'm just a fan. I'm not in the business of hockey to know like what they did right and what they did wrong. What I do know that they did wrong is screw a 3-1 series lead, right? So someone's got to answer to that, and whether it's those two or the entire team or the plays that they were given, people will answer those questions in the organization.
Yeah, dominoes will definitely fall over the next couple of months as they look to figure out what's going to happen for 2021, 2022. Listen, thank you so much for being here and so gracious with your time. If people want to hit you up on social media, follow you, or check out the morning show, where can they find you? Where can they listen?
So on social, it's Mocha Frap, MochaFrap. That is on Twitter and Instagram. If you're in Toronto, it's at Kiss925. We are on weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. in Toronto. And then the show is on across the country in Northern Ontario. We're in Kingston. We're in Ottawa. We are in Winnipeg. We're in Vancouver. We're in Edmonton. So pretty much everywhere. We have a podcast as well. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Frequency Podcast Network, we've got 200, close to 300 episodes now of our podcast. Just search for Roz and Mocha, and you can get caught up on all our episodes. We drop 3 episodes a week, and that's pretty much everything for the world of Roz and Mocha.
Just constantly creating content. Absolutely amazing. For my guest, Mocha Frap, I'm your host, Julian Ortiz. The Big O Podcast and the Roz and Mocha Podcast are available on Apple Podcast. So make sure that you subscribe, leave a review. Also available on Spotify, Google Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast, with full episodes available up on YouTube. So make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification button to stay up to date with the full future episodes.
And real quick, I just want to say thank you as well to you for inviting me to be a part of the podcast. It's very exciting. It's always great talking to you, and it's the second time we got a chance to do this, and I hope we get to, maybe we make this like a yearly thing where we do an annual catch up. But it's always great chatting with you, and it's always so much fun, and I love the conversations that come out of this, man, honestly.
Yeah, no, listen, I'll pencil you in 365 days from now. We'll make sure that we do it again.
Yeah, and who knows, by that time, my bedtime may actually move up again. I'll probably be at 7 p.m. I'll be in bed.
Cruz will be getting ready to put you to bed.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm your host, Julian Ortiz. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a great day, everybody.